But let's look back and learn from the Broncos, and let's do it by taking a dive into the film with our coach, Todd Davis. Todd, take us into the inside scoop.
I just had to bring up this play first because we talked about it a little bit yesterday on the show. And
Nope, we're just going to move on.
I
we're watching.
I got the iPad.
We're watching.
Show me the good throw.
There's
Show me
the
the good
iPad.
throw.
All right,
Let's
so
go.
here, this is the boot that caused the first interception of the game, first pass of the game. Unfortunately, little Jordan Humphries couldn't come up with it. They run a boot. They got good space. We have athletes, so Bo Nix is definitely faster than an outside linebacker here. But unfortunately, I think the ball is just a little bit too high here.
Yep.
I think, he threw it to a point where, the receiver has two arms extended and his back arm can't get to the ball because of how far out it is. Now, I think, it could be better, and I think he can do a better job of trying to, knock it down. But I thought that it was two players not at their best on this play, not just one. So, you know what I'm saying? I got to give credit to Bo, and I got to give, I got to be honest when it's not there.
I knew you were going to bring this one up. And so last night during the Chiefs game, I watched, and I was looking at, okay, let's see how perfect Patrick Mahomes throws passes. He doesn't throw perfect passes often. Players are jumping, players are making great catches in order to make plays. And so I think this is one that little Jordan needs to make. I do agree with you. This could have been a better throw. But I put it 90% on Lil Jordan. I put it 10% on Bo.
Okay, I hear what you're saying.
Man, Todd's starting the inside scoop with fire. I love it.
Fire.
I love it. And it's already getting the Toyota chat rocking and rolling.
Yes, sir.
Not hit his hands. It's hit his hand.
His hand.
Hit it in hand still.
We know
love
what he means.
that trigger. Angel is chiming in. Also, there were a lot of people just before the screen that were saying, great call, Zach. You're so right and funny and handsome.
Wow.
Handsome, wow.
Yeah, I know.
All right, so this is the relationship that we feel like Cortland and Bo are kind of building. We understand. I think he understands defenses, and so no matter what, when you have Cortland Sutton one-on-one, you throw him the football. It doesn't matter what's happening on this side of the football. You can care less about what defense they're in, cover 2, cover 3. You know that Cortland Sutton is one-on-one. They're in a cover 3 here, but Cortland Sutton is one-on-one with a DB. You give him a chance.
Yep, especially 2 days before the deadline.
Especially. And so that's what they've been doing more often, and I think that's what's allowing Cortland to be able to make these plays and, come back for the football. It's a nice little comeback route based off where the ball is thrown. And Cortland does a great job of getting it. It's a 22-yard throw from Bo Nix to Cortland Sutton. And I think it's a lot of identifying the defense. Cortland one-on-one, throw it. And we'll see what happens next. He's your best offensive weapon. We have to use him like that.
I feel like we don't see many of the back shoulder passes either.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice to see that. And I wonder why that is. Is it just that DBs aren't turning their backs very often, but they did here? I'm curious, but...
I don't know. I still don't even think this was a, back shoulder throw.
That's true, because he did turn the other way.
Yeah, he turned inside, and I felt like he kind of moved the DB by. It wasn't like a hard plant and I come out for it, because I think it was just based off where the ball was thrown. He made an adjustment for Bo.
Yeah.
Cortland does such a good job making last-second adjustments intentionally because it shows it. You give no tip to the cornerback that the ball is right about to be there. And then he makes that move, and it's a really good job of that.
Yeah, if you listen to great wide receivers talk, there's this anticipation from the DBs. As soon as you put your hands up, they want to put their hands up. So you wait to the last second, and you just throw it up to catch the ball, and they can't have any answers for it.
Yep. Also, Todd, are we getting this film from a blimp or something?
This is all 22, baby.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
all 22.
When they give me the all 22 film, it looks a lot better because you can see everything.
Yeah. This feels like all 22 from the moon.
Yes. Only the best for you guys. Man. All right, this is the 4th down play. This was the pitch that we saw. So we talked about Hank kind of wanted to run straight ahead. I don't think that was going to work. I don't think QB sneaks was going to work.
Nope.
All these interior gaps are clogged up. And so everybody's shooting a gap here, and what they want Roquan to do is just play over the top. He has free reign. Wherever Javonte goes, you find a way to get there. But what I do like about this play is that I honestly feel like it's going to work. So they got man-to-man, so they're going to bring the wide receiver across. It's going to bring the corner out. And so then they're going to toss this ball to Javonte. And so what we don't see is this Mike McGlinchey is here, and he's trying to get out to the second level. And Mike's not cutting this guy. He's actually like falling forward. If he makes this block right here, I know Javonte can get the first down. He has enough power to get there. And he can outrun Roquan with Roquan diving and has legs. Unfortunately, this guy defeats the block by Mike McGlinchey, and so he's the first one to get to Javonte's legs. Because if this guy's blocked right here, then Roquan is one more step behind Javonte, and this is a great executed play, and it's a great call by Sean Payton. But unfortunately, you have, Mike McGlinchey, who's been playing really, really good football. He just is not able to keep his feet on this play, stumbles a little bit, and that's what leads to two defenders getting on Javonte instead of one, and him possibly having another inch and a half to get that first down.
Can you go back one? Look at Quinn Minard's legs just sticking up in the air. He's just on top of him.
Man, and the thing with this play is Mike McGlinchey's a guy that you definitely want moving in space because he is a very athletic tackle. So, man, they had the right idea.
For sure. And this is tough because you got to think about it. Mike McGlinchey has to work this way. So Cortland's going to block this guy, and then Mike McGlinchey's technically working to here. But you got defenders shooting gaps. So you got a 320 pounder has to get skinny, then get vertical, then turn his hips. It's a lot for a big man to do, and I think that's why he kind of stumbles on this play. And then going back to when you were talking about reaching the ball out, some coaches are very, very particular about you reaching the ball out. They don't want you to reach the ball out unless it's 4th and goal with 2 seconds left on the clock. Other than that, it's too many times has it created a turnover, and you give the ball up. So some coaches are very particular about you reaching the ball out in any capacity, unless it's like this is the game-winning touchdown and that's it.
I agree with you, but wouldn't 4th and inches? I know it's not at the goal line, but isn't that a time when you reach the ball? Like worst case, worst case.
You're giving it up
you
right
fumble
there.
And then they get the ball and they take it for a touchdown on that play. It's a scoop and score. But realistic worst case, you fumble and they get the ball right there. Right where you were gonna give the ball up anyways on turnover on downs.
Yeah, I'm just saying, some
when you're
people
told over and over. Yeah.
And I felt like he thought he had it. I don't know if he felt like I gotta, because he was so close.
Yeah, he
was.
was.
It's just
and they even called it, and they were about to run a play, and they had to stop it. I think he was so close.
That guy behind him just falls on his knee and just takes it down so quickly.
That's what I'm saying. He was I think he was surprised how quickly he went down.
Exactly.
But gosh, when you see it from the pylon cam angle, and it's like, oh, Javonte just reached the ball out. I know from an outside perspective, it's a lot easier to say that, but man.
Yeah.
It's tough, man. All right, this is another play in the game. We got quarter concepts is what they were running, this past game. I felt like it was a little bit more zone than they had traditionally run.
Yep.
So what you have right here is you have quarters. Quarters. Oh, that's not a 4. Quarters this side of the field, and you have halves to this side of the field, which means that this safety is responsible for this half of the field. This corner is technically playing like a run under, and then these two, this safety and this corner, both have a half, and this inside linebacker here is going to take all of number 3 if number 2 is vertical. So because of that, number 2 goes vertical, which means that Cody Barton has all of 3, which he goes and does, but unfortunately, J-Mac doesn't stay inside. So he needs to stay inside here because if he runs it out with this run under cloud technique, this corner is going to be sitting here taking it out. So they want the quarterback over there. He can jump and make a play. So he doesn't stay inside the way he needs to. And then also you got young buck, Devin Key. He gets just a little bit too antsy because technically you have a quarter of the field. You don't need to go anywhere fast. If this route continues to you, then you take advantage of it. But I don't know if he's anticipating the throw, trying to make an interception or a big play. Instead of sitting here and receiving this play or breaking it up, he tries to undercut it, and we already have one player out of position. Now we have another player out of position, and what happens is the receiver is able to get behind our quarter safety, and he already has gotten past our nickel, and then now, Pat is trying to help and make a play because of everybody out of position here.
Yep. I mean, that one in particular, Nelson Aguilar, veteran receiver.
Yeah.
Like you see, he knows what's happening right there. He knows he has space, so he just takes that hard right turn and he's gone.
Exactly. So, Devin, I feel like needs to be deeper in this play and then play it more top down and not try to make a big play. I know he's young. He's second star. He's trying to make a name for himself, but I think he can get better from this clip right here. All right, here we go with Bo Nix and, one of his best plays of the day, in my opinion. The Broncos are running, what is like their favorite route with Courtland on this deep dig or deep dagger. But unfortunately, I think the O-line got a little bit of flack for this game for not holding up, but there was more times, I feel like more often than not, they did a good job, protecting the rush. A couple times you saw Bo scramble, he was being blitzed. And so, of course, you got to, they're going to have an extra hat sometimes. You got to find a way to make a play. But this play right here, the offensive line does a great job of holding up. But they have Roquan Smith. Oh, he's right here, and he was spying the quarterback. So after about 3 to 4 seconds, he's like, all right, I'm gonna go take off and try to get Bo. Well, once he attacks Bo, Javonte is being a good running back, and he finds open space. Bo Nix rolls up to his left. He finds Javonte, and this goes for about a little over 20 yards. But this is what Bo needs to do if he's going to be successful. He has to be able to identify coverages, get the ball to Courtland Sutton in one-on-one matchups, and then also when he starts to scramble, he has to be able to make plays with his legs, extend plays, and then find open receivers and let them do all the hard work. Because he gets this ball to Javonte, he goes for like 20. I think that's the last clip I have, but he goes for like 20 yards, and it was a great play from the two of them.
Can you go back a couple?
Do you want to see Quinn on the ground again?
No, not Quinn on the ground. This one. So it's a tough throw at this point, but you do have the tight end wide open running across the field. You also have Court about to make his break. If you see that coming a little bit, then you can get that ball out despite Roquan coming. But again, it works out because the second play works.
Yeah, and that's tough because you want him to sit in there and throw the ball this way when this guy is coming this way. Like, if it was,
I would like for the ball to be out right now, though. Not like turn now and throw it, but out by now, and then you don't have to worry about it.
And then I'll say
what it is.
On this next clip where you show Bo scrambling and hitting Javonte, it was a great field awareness for Bo to throw kind of back of his body, maybe a slightly ill-advised throw. I don't know if coaches love it, but it was a great job to be able to find Javonte and then put some zip on him when he's, again, throwing back across the middle of the field.
Exactly. Yeah, it was a great play from Bo. Great pass. All right, well, this is a play, not his best, but this is what we need, if Bo's going to be successful. We need him and Troy Franklin to get on the same page. Like, you get exactly what you want. You get man-to-man, and the middle of the field safety is playing and bracketing Courtland. So they're double-teaming Courtland. So you have a true one-on-one. There's no safety back here that can help. They can get to this football. You just got to throw it somewhere that Troy Franklin can go get it. It's true one-on-one. In the NFL, like, this is open. We got to find a way to make these plays because it's 4th and 4 here. Like, we need this play. Although you want to make, like, a shorter throw or something that could help you get the first down and keep marching the football, like, this is the right throw. Like, he is open, and we need to just make this connect. You see the ball's right here, about to hit the ground, and unfortunately it doesn't work, but we got to find a way for them to connect better and be able to make these plays because if they're going to double Courtland and they're saying, okay, Courtland's not getting the ball on this possession, 4th and 4, you would love to hit a quick slant to Courtland like that's what you use him for, use his body. If they're going to say, no, we're not letting you guys do that, we have to have other guys step up. And we just need a little bit off this throw from Bo. And I think Troy Franklin can find a way to come up with it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, this is not. It's an easy
throw. I don't know if it's easy.
You wouldn't call it easy?
Oh no.
It's open. It's the NFL. Like, you got to be able to hit him.
Yeah, you got to be able to hit it, but like, he's in the middle of the field, has to throw all the way to the end zone, outside the hashes. Just like when they do like that trash can drill, and you got to drop it in the trash can. It's a tough throw, but for an NFL quarterback, you got to find a way to make it.
I'm also, unfortunately, not surprised with this. I mean, we haven't seen Bo hit deep passes even in training camp. So that's the deep pass is a work in progress. And it just feels like Bo is overthrowing Troy, which just doesn't make sense because that's happened for months now, and it doesn't make sense because they're the ones with the connection already.
Yes, they're the ones that played together for a couple of years. They should know how, he should know how fast Troy is at this point. So it is unfortunate that he's missing some of these throws. This is like a great play for me because I felt like this is Bo like taking command of the offense. I don't know if you guys can see it right here, but Bo looks at the receiver and like gives him a little signal, and the receiver responds by like tapping his chest and making a gesture himself. So I'm not sure if this was an audible, if he was reminding him of his route, but it feels like Bo's making a check at the line, say, hey, you guys, you see what they're in. You're going to run this route to be able to get open. And it actually works out very well. The receiver was able to come and stack behind the linebackers, and the linebackers aren't able to get enough depth. And Bo does a great job of rocketing this ball right here to the spot and puts it right on the money. I mean, you got a linebacker here, you got the corner that was on him trying to chase, and Bo is able to fit this ball into a tight window. And I think they did make a check here. I think Bo did tell him, hey, run a bang 8, keep it skinny, and I'll hit you over on the numbers. And I thought it was a great play from Bo.
I love that.
All right, this next play right here is something that Bo does really well, and that's use his legs. Like, there's a happy medium of like using your legs and hitting the guy downfield, or using your legs to be able to get the first down. So I think Bo is way more athletic than people give him credit for. So we're locked up man to man, and if you look, the safety's coming down to get the tight end. There's no real where for him to go with this football. By the time he stops scrambling, Lil Jordan Humphreys is almost getting open, but he's not open yet. You got these guys crossing. Maybe he hits him. But what I do like is that he has Roquan Smith on him one-on-one. Top 2 linebacker in the league, probably him and Fred Warner, best 2. And, he makes a miss. Hits him with a little pump fake, is able to make him miss, and he's able to get into open space and actually kind of leaves him in the dust. So Bo is way more athletic than people give him credit for, and his ability to use his legs is really helping the Broncos, on the field right now.
Yep. And I think he was forced to do it a lot this past game, I think, move around, and I was actually very pleased with how he was able to move around and not just run. He was the leading rusher for the Broncos at halftime, but also be able to extend plays and then find receivers deeper downfield.
Yep, 100%. All right, this is I don't know if it's the last bad play, but okay, so we have the same coverage that we had last time. You got, quarters to this side, they're in quarters, and you got halves to this side, but when you're in a half and then they get in the stack, you gotta change it. You don't want to be in halves versus stacks. They got a lot of different routes they can run, so they probably went back to quarters here. So with quarters, you have, nobody has anybody deep. These 2 guys should be in quarters here, and then this safety, once again, I think he's cheating too far down because everybody should be in quarters at this point. He should just be a little bit higher and be able to help on this ball. We need a little bit more of a reroute out of J-Mac, but unfortunately, we let this guy get behind the defense. Nobody's on him. And, these 2 guys have the upfield route because they're in quarters. And this is the play that ends up going for 50. We got too many guys around the ball. Nobody make the tackle. A couple guys get tripped up. But just don't think this was great execution of, the quarters coverage once again. And maybe we could get away from it just a little bit. Maybe run a little bit more cover 2, cover 3, something like that.
Would that be good against Patrick Mahomes to get away from that?
Traditionally, that's what we always ran against him, and it worked well. Because of the weapons that he had.
Because it's all top down.
But what you would like to do is just be in man. Put Riley in man, put Pat in man, and PJ Locke, I think, is held up enough to be like, let him play man as well. Brandon Jones in the middle of the field. Like, that's what's been working really well for the Broncos. They blitz 5, they blitz 6, they blitz 4. But it's all usually man concepts behind it. You get real exotic on third down and run zone. They were just running zone on first and second down a little bit more than they had, I felt like.
I thought early in the game they tried more man, but the speed just caught him a couple times, and so they kind of just backed off of it. Like, I think Riley had the hold in man. I think
it
Pat's
was penalties.
Was man.
It wasn't big plays.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right,
I think Riley had a tough game too, and that's rare for him.
Exactly. All right, so this is the last play that I have. Bo made a lot of good plays, a lot of good throws. I think this is one that he kind of wants back. You got Cortland Sutton going to run like a deep end right here. Bo Nix has a good pocket once again from the O-line, so the O-line was not getting beat 27 ways like most people think. He's able to step up in this pocket. But unfortunately, he steps up and he never sets his feet. And I think that's when you see Bo get into trouble. Like, whenever he steps up, and I think he does well throwing on the move when it's short dump-off passes, but when he has to make like an accurate throw downfield, I think he's still learning that part of his game. So he steps up, and then this ball just gets a little high on him, kind of similar to what he did with Lil Jordan Humphreys, but we don't have to bring that up. And, I think he wants this one back because right now Cortland is open, and it would have been a great play. He just got to, once he steps up, he got to set his feet and be able to make an accurate throw to hit Cortland in the end zone.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one there. I think we have time for one more play, Todd. Do you
We're
have?
done.
No, that's it.
Oh, that's it. Oh, right on.